I literally have nothing to say right now. I have nothing to say. The Jets don't have anybody on the roster. Or maybe I mean they do. They currently do. But time, 1 hour left, 60 minutes of time before we kind of see who stays. Unfortunately, my guy did not stay. As a matter of fact, almost every jersey, the only jersey that's in there now of a current New York Jet is Breece Hall, and we're going to talk about him in a little bit. So it's Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a Jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Come on in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go!
J-E-T-S, Jet, Jet, Jet! Let's go! J-E-T-S, Jet, Jet, Jet! Let's go! There you go, Woody!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Woody, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby.
Boy Green
meets Woody. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi, and you know we usually say Wudi rocking everywhere. Well, right now it seems like the Jets players are getting traded anywhere. Okay, this is a disgusting day. Okay, this is Black Tuesday if I've ever seen one. And you know over here is the boy who became king, repping behind him two jerseys of our fallen soldiers, two of the best Jets on the team, captains, leaders, exemplary men in on the field, off the field, tremendous human beings that I was proud to call New York Jets. They were proud to call themselves New York Jets. They wanted to be part of the turnaround, and it was not their choice. It was not their choice. They were just shipped off. They were discarded. I will pass it over to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Boy Green, Paul Eston Jr. How are you, sir?
I see we have the super chat shout out immediately right off the top of the show. Shout out to the 1,300 and growing people in the room for this NFL trade deadline show. Everyone is going crazy.
Wow.
Mr. Flowers, a member for a year on the channel. Thank you very much. BG, I need some positivity here. Spread the love. Well, I just got to tell you, I've been Sauce Gardner. I didn't even know he was available. Right? Yeah, Jermaine, we've talked about man, we were like Quincy and Quinnen a little. We're like, oh, could he? Maybe, possibly. Breece Hall and stuff. But oh my God, Sauce Gardner, that's the first boom. And you get one of those. And again, 2 first-round picks and added on Mitchell, young receiver. All right, the return is good. So at least they didn't trade him for a bag of beans. And then Quinnen Williams, a first and a second and a player, Mozzie Smith, who the Cowboys have been trying to sell off to everyone on the universe. It's that one guy in your fantasy football league who says, hey, you want this guy? Still no. Stop giving him to me. But hey, the Jets have a hole at defensive tackle, so why the hell not? Former first rounder and Mozzie Smith. So, and there are more deals to come, it sounds like, from all the insiders. The 49ers are circling the wagons on Jermaine Johnson. So that one is one to watch. Quincy Williams has been in discussion. So Breece Hall, of course. I've heard the Chiefs rumors, but nothing official yet. If you guys see something, by the way, light up the comment section, whether you're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram's on another tab, but feel free to yell there too, and I may eventually see it. So just yell wherever you are, and we'll try to hit you up. But, oh, my goodness, it looks like the Jets may not be finished yet. And, man, they've got like 7 first-round picks over the next couple of years. I mean, it's crazy, Woody. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. Whatever, Boy Green. All I know is that if I run into AG at Whole Foods, it's on site. All right. This dude, what he's done to my team, it's I can't even believe it. Like you said, Sauce wasn't even on the radar. Um, I was hoping to just skate through this day without hearing about any name. But arguably the two biggest names on the whole team. I mean, Garrett would really be the only one contending for that title. I hope I don't hear anything about him. I'm not trying to.
Well, hey, here's some news just coming in. So this is from the Chiefs side of things. Apparently, they're willing to go on this Breece Hall trade. So Albert Breer just tweeted this out. The Jets are seeking a second-round pick for Jermaine Johnson and a third-round pick for Breece Hall separately. That's what they're looking for. I don't like either of those deals, by the way. So no thanks. But apparently, the Chiefs side of it is they're willing to give a conditional 4 that could become a 3. They have not been willing to give up a straight up 3 yet. So we'll see if something changes the next hour, basically. But apparently that's where the Chiefs are at. And the 49ers, like I said earlier, drooling all over Jermaine Johnson. That's who they want. So oh God, just man, the Jets are making a chase for that number 1 overall pick. That's what they're doing this year.
I mean, they were doing that with the players. So, to get rid of the players. And I think that's actually really important to talk about is, I see a couple of comments in here. My cousin, who, I know he's in his glee. The Patriots are somehow, some way first in the AFC East, and the Jets are just back in the basement. The thing with that is that those are guys, Sauce, Quinnen, those are guys that help, elevate the team. We're gutting out the team, and now we're hoping that we hit on next year's draft. We hope that we hit on the year after that. So, you look at that short-term future, and it's like, damn, okay, this season was a complete wash. Last season was a complete wash. The next season, I have no reason to be elevated, to be hyped. No reason to pick myself up for next season, because next season is just going to be more of the same. And it's just going to be under that umbrella of developing, instant coffee. And we don't even know if AG is a guy. He's someone who's just pushing buttons for the first time ever in this role. And we're trusting him to do something that, a lot of these other first-time guys couldn't do either. So, I'm not seeing the light right now.
Yeah. Let's get into a couple of comments here. Again, we have nearly 2,000 people in the room. Appreciate you guys. So, like the video, hit subscribe. We're reacting to the craziness. Sauce Gardner, Colts. If you just woke up from a nap, I've got some terrible news to share. Sauce Gardner is an Indianapolis Colt. Quinnen Williams is a Dallas Cowboy. Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson, Quincy Williams. So, like, there are several players that are still in the mix here to be moved somewhere in the next 50 minutes. So there is a lot happening here. I see J-Boy is jumping in, a super chat shout out.
Wow.
I've heard this before. He's a member for 10 months. Appreciate you, J-Boy. Losing the players that help losing shouldn't hurt. Now, I would probably remove the help losing part and just be a part of it, right? Because we talk about Quinnen Williams, who has been with this team or had been with this team. I got to get used to that past tense. He was with this team since 2019. He was the second longest tenured player on the team. He's an all-pro. He's awesome, but he never had a winning season with the Jets, never sniffed the playoff, never got close. And you could tell that frustration was happening. And I'll tell you this for Quinnen, right? There was a lot of, on terms of his trade price, a lot of us were like, man, 2 1s, you better not come over here without 2 1s. And then we hear from Connor Hughes, like, maybe a 2. And I'm like, maybe a 2. I'm like, this is Quinnen Williams, man. And now we get back all the way to the other side, which is often somewhere in between, where the Jets get a future first. And the good news there is that it's either the Cowboys or the Packers, whichever one is higher, whichever one is the better first-round pick the Jets get. It's not 2026, it's 2027. Get a second rounder this year. Apparently, according to Connor Hughes, and I'm trying to catch up because bullets are flying all over the place, but Connor Hughes said on their mini deadline show that they just had like an hour ago that Quinnen Williams requested 3, let me rephrase this. He requested trade 3 separate times to the New York Jets privately, like, get me the hell out of here. And we didn't hear a peep about it outside of some frustration in social media, but that was it. So the fact that the Jets were able to maximize the value, didn't sell them for pennies on a dollar, so a 1 and a 2, and the random player who is at a position of need, so we'll see what he ends up being. I have not heard great things from Cowboys fans. Maybe a new scheme, new situation opens it up. Not a lot to say about Mozzie Smith, but you get a 1 and a 2, that's pretty good value for a player in Quinnen Williams for what he is. They didn't sell him cheap. The same thing for Sauce Gardner. You get 2, we're looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. You got great value so far in the deals that are had. Again, I don't know how I feel about Breece for a 3 and Jermaine for a 2, if that's the value the Jets end up getting ahead of the deadline. But on the deals they've made so far, they have got massive value. Of course, to your point, Wudi, they have to hit on the picks or it doesn't mean diddly. But I think a couple of things are clear here from this flurry of trades. The Jets are going after that number 1 overall pick this year. The Jets are in the best position possible to solve that quarterback problem, which has been a problem forever. They have 1 million first-round picks. That's the official number, by the way. Just double-check that. It's 1 million first-round picks. So they have all these opportunities to get that franchise quarterback that they have been yearning for forever. So I think that's the positive thing. If you're looking for a positive thing, it's that, we've got a lot of draft picks, financial flexibility. The Jets are going to have a lot of cap space. But I do have one bit of bad news. I mean, you could say even more bad news than that. Let me go to our comments section here, and our comments are blowing up. So thank you so much to 2,000 people that are now in the room here. We'll see if I can find it quickly. It's Joshua Fleming. He says, I know one thing. I'm not buying any more jerseys. I know that much. LOL. Well, it could be. Like, again, I got Quinnen over here. I got Sauce over here. I'm running out of Jets jerseys, and I have 1 million jerseys. And I'm running out for how many Jets are still on the team. So if you want positivity, Wudi, that's a positivity. They've been getting a good return on investment. I think it feels worse when you lose players that you love. And, of course, we love Quinnen. He's been here forever. And Sauce, it's still so stunning. I can't even wrap my mind around that he's not here. That if you traded them and didn't get full value, that makes you feel much worse. So that should make you feel slightly better, right?
I love the glass half full. I don't know if we got full value, but no, there should be zero argument that the Jets didn't get, a haul for these 2, monumental players for what they've meant to the franchise. I mean, that 2022 draft class, I believe we all love the class, and I know a lot of us wanted to, re-sign the Big 4. If you had told me that Sauce would be the first one gone from the 4, come on. That doesn't even make sense. That literally does not make sense. But what they did, what this regime did, is set up 2027 to be the same thing. We love that class. We had 3 first-round picks in that class. And now there are 3 first-round picks in the 2027 class. So, I guess, that's kind of what they did. They said, we like this class. Let's do it for ourselves, and set up the 3 first rounds in the 27. But are these the guys to do it? Do you guys really trust? And that's what I'm saying is I have not seen enough from Aaron Glenn to give him this type of opportunity to I guess start from scratch, so to speak. I feel like we might just end up in this situation again in 2028.
Possible. I hope not, but possible. Let's get a super chat in here. I do have other questions I want to sort of pontificate here. Let's go to EZ.
Wow.
Quinnen keeping, thank you, EC, for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. You guys can continue to send in those super chats. We're streaming live in 5 different locations. We have 2,000 people watching the show on my 3 platforms, plus everyone on Wudi. So, I mean, we have over 2,500 people or so in this room right now reacting to all of this news. So I appreciate it. So keep sending in your super chats, memberships, and everything of that nature. Quinnen Williams, keep it quiet about wanting out. Definitely help the Jets get best trade value. So respect for Quinnen. That's for sure. That Quinnen, again, his only blip of like dissatisfaction publicly was that for 3 seconds he tweeted out like, "Ah, boy, another rebuild year." When he heard that the Jets were moving on from Aaron Rodgers, he tried to delete it quick, but it was too late. Once he said it, there's no putting that toothpaste back in the tube, and that was the only frustration. So besides that, we did get maximum value, so that should be the thing here for EZ that some Jet fans should rally around. That Quinnen could have Jamal Adams did, even though the Jets did get 2 firsts for Jamal Adams, even when he did the public tirade to get me the hell out of here. Wudi, another, and thank you, EZ, for the super chat, guys. Keep sending those in. The other thing I want to get to here, Wudi, is what is left to happen over the next 45 minutes. Now that the Jets have traded their 2 big pieces here, and Sauce, we didn't even know was available, now Quinnen, why wait on anything else? Relatively speaking, I think there's a bunch of untouchables on the roster. Olu Muiwa Fashanu, Armand Membu, Garrett Wilson, and there's a bunch I'm not even thinking of right now. So it's not a bunch. There's a list of guys that I wouldn't trade under any circumstances. I don't give a flying hoot what those picks are. But outside of those guys, the guys we've been talking about, Quincy, Jermaine.
What makes Garrett untouchable?
I want him. I don't want him to go. That makes him untouchable.
Well, I
don't know how the Jets feel, I guess, but I'm just saying from my perspective, Garrett, I got a DM, and I'm not going to say this person's name. So all the trades are happening. I got a DM. Yo, Garrett Wilson available? I said, shut up. Don't make me punch you in the face, buddy. It was a Bills person. He reached out and said, yo, Garrett Wilson available? I said, shut up, man. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. But no, for me, he's untouchable. But anyway, let's go to the people we're talking about. Breece Hall and Jermaine Johnson. Those are 2 that are hot and heavy in rumors right now. And we got 45 minutes to go. Would you move either of those players? And considering everything else that's happened today, if that affects it.
No, I mean, obviously, I've said the same thing, almost a broken record the whole time. Because in order to get the new regime going, you need some key pieces, moving forward. You need to be able to, have, your new QB develop or have your new guys develop. So you need players there. You look at the trades that the Jets have made. So far, it seems like they're all defensive. We got rid of Michael Carter, got rid of Sauce, got rid of Quinnen. So, the defense that, struggled pretty mightily the first, 5 games. Maybe Steve Wilkes is out here talking about, these guys don't fit my scheme. So they're trying to overhaul that. But in the act of doing that, they've actually gotten some receivers back while doing that. So, if Jermaine is to go, I don't know why people are talking about Will. I feel like he's the more attractive on paper prospect to try to go after. But I would really hesitate to trade anybody actually on the offensive side. Like I said, or like you said, that number 1 overall pick, if that's a QB, they're going to need somebody to throw to. They're going to need runners to
We got news.
Oh my God. Damn.
NFL insider Connor Hughes says a team that called the Jets about Garrett Wilson with Sauce Gardner being dealt today, saying, could anyone be had? Not the case of Garrett Wilson. Conversation did not progress. He is untouchable. Thank you. Yeah, screw you, people. No, thank you. I don't have to hang a 3rd jersey up here. Garrett Wilson? I don't think so. Okay, and look at these people trying to, vulture circling. They're like, is that a body decaying down there? Let me go fly on down and see what's going on. Garrett Wilson, not available. See, I spoke it into existence. This came out 60 seconds ago. Not untouchable for Garrett. Yes.
3 minutes, 60 seconds. Who's counting? But yes, that's fantastic news. Fantastic news. And that's what I was just about to say, right? Is that, number 1 overall pick, they're going to need somebody to throw to. They're going to need people blocking for them, and they're going to need runners to take the pressure off. So, if they want to keep, wholesaling the defense and build Steve Wilkes' defense, be my guess.
So there you go. So that just coming in again. We're keeping an eye. I keep seeing tweets all over the place, but I got to filter them in my brain. I love this tweet from Josina Anderson. It has nothing to do with the Jets. I'm not bringing it up on the screen, but Josina Anderson says interest remains cool on anyone acquiring Giants guard Evan Neal per sources. I'm just glad that Josina felt. I love Josina. She's been on the show. I just love that she felt so compelled ahead of the trade deadline. Just so y'all know, still no interest at this point in Evan Neal. Thank you, Josina. Appreciate it. Water is wet. Also, water is wet. There you go on old Evan Neal. But I'm keeping a constant eye, like I said, on social media to see. But man, that is just again really, really awesome news for Garrett again. And I've got the jersey in the closet. I want to actually, and autographs. I got to meet Garrett Wilson a couple of months ago, which was awesome. So, great there as well. Unbelievable. And, oh God, I'm just so emotional today because here's the thing. We're forced to have short-term and long-term conversations all right now. Someone just got hit in the back of the head with a 2x4 and they're in a coma in the hospital. And we have to go, we don't have time to mourn. I have no time to mourn. This just happened, man. Sauce Gardner, that was the initial, what the show was going to be about. We were going to get to dive in deep on Sauce Gardner. And then boom, Quinnen Williams. Oh, geez. It's just another body blow. Because sure, for the people that are looking for positive, a lot of draft picks and cap space and all this other stuff is fun and cool. And we're the offseason champs, baby. Don't question it. But we just lost these two key pieces to the puzzle, man.
We definitely did. Definitely lost two monumental pieces to the puzzle, including my favorite Jet. Yeah, but no, and that's I see people.
Hey, quick shout out, by the way, my boy Chris J. He's a Colts fan. A lot of people. My phone has been blown up. I've gotten phone calls, texts. I'm like, people, I got a lot of things going on right now. But Chris J. I did see it. Shout out. He's a big Colts fan. Sorry, buddy. Thanks for sauce though. The body's still warm, okay, buddy. So let's just. Hey,
he went from 1-7 to 7-2. So
damn.
Shout out to Sauce. I mean, same Michael Carter. Also,
right.
It's Quinnen, my guy. Damn, they got some stuff to figure out in Dallas still.
We might have they lose last night to the Cardinals, right? And we're talking about these draft picks. We'll get even more into it during the offseason. But the Cowboys, right? So your point, Eagles first place in the AFC, you say look pretty good. Colts are awesome. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. Salute to the Colts. The Cowboys just lost last night. That second round pick that we're getting for this year, the first round pick is next year again, whichever one's better. So Cowboys, Packers. So we can hate watch all those teams equally next year, which is great. That second round pick could be a top 10 second round pick. That could be in the 30s, maybe, for this Cowboys team if they continue to implode. So that pick might be pretty valuable, man. Yeah.
Shout out to our guy for Lily. We are fumbling for Fernando. That made me crack
a while. Yeah. Frankie.
Which that was probably the first time I smiled today was reading that. Are you? I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised that the fan are I guess this is your YouTube channel's comments, so we're pretty much looking at. Our universe, there's not one person that's like, damn, they're like, oh, let's go. I said something about AG and someone was like, oh, well, it's not just AG, it's Darren Muji making the picks, as if, he has a, huge track record for success. But yeah, it seems like a very positive day. So, damn, kudos to you guys. And I guess, like you said, it's the off-season chance. It's the hypotheticals. I think that's kind of what it is having that comfort in hypotheticals, like, oh, wow, well, these picks could end up all really great. And this is something good. But you know what they say? They say one in the hand is worth
two in the bush.
There it is. So we got a lot of bush picks right now. And, our hands are, we got Garrett in one hand.
That's it. I appreciate that one. I will say this because, so a lot of people, I see another one coming through from Scott, and there's others all pepper in the comments. Two first round picks for Sauce is amazing. I've seen other positive, nice, got out of the Sauce deal, great. What, guys? Sauce has been awesome this year. For outside of let me clarify it. Like anything, the Jets defense had been awful for that first 5 weeks, so Sauce was a contributor in some of that awfulness, but he turned it around over the last couple of games. He's been really, really good, man. And so I am not celebrating like, nice, we got rid of Sauce, because it goes back to that Family Guy thing that we always talk about. What would you rather have, the boat or the box? Whoa, Lois, hold on a second. The boat could, the box could be anything. Could be a boat. Like, Sauce Gardner's a 2-time All-Pro. I hope a first-round pick is half as good as Sauce is that we're going to have in the future. That's what I hope. But we had Sauce. We didn't need the box. We had the box, or the boat and the box. I don't know, man. The point is, I'm all over the place. I'm flustered to all hell. We got 2,200 people in the room watching Boy Green Meets Wudi right now. Again, everybody, I'm Paul Liston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. That's my partner in crime, the James Wudi, contributor for JetNation.com. So, guys, make sure no matter where you're watching, and we have people all over the place, Instagram, YouTube, the number one place to watch both of us is here on YouTube. That is at BoyGreen25 on your screen, and at Take Flight Talk as well. That is Woody's channel and my channel together here. As we're interacting with all these comments and super chats and everything else coming through here, I see our number one Austrian Jet fan, the trade deadline champs, baby. I didn't know there was a championship for this, but
Wow.
Shout out to at the James Wudi Instagram as well. I'm sure Boy Green 25 Instagram is off the chain. This is another one of my highest attended. So shout out to all you guys: Andrew, Preston, Carmine, Josh, Michael, Evan, goddamn Tyler. We all in the building. And the first article I wrote for on Jet Nation when AG was hired. It was about AG. Obviously, it was Aaron Glenn and the power of if, and that's what this is. It's about if we can do this, if we can do that, if he's gonna buck that trend and completely defy this trend. Then things are gonna work out. And obviously, this first year, none of those things happened. And now, we are kind of deluding ourselves again into being like, oh well, if we hit on, and people, still clapping back, 5 first-round picks. If we hit on these 5 first-round picks, if we, so we could just be, picking up, Vernon Golston. That's actually a possibility. Or picking up, you laughing, right? Water is wet, Evan Neal. We could be drafting Evan Neal next, so. It's possible.
Don't put that out in the universe, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So,
hey, by the way, this is from Adam Schefter. Not anything there yet, but there have been 6 trades today. That's tied for the third most on any trade deadline day going back to 1990, 35 years ago. So take that. There were 10 trades in 2022 and 8 trades in 2024. And again, there's still more time to go. There are several Jets specifically. This is a Jets trade deadline show, but it could be any trades in the NFL that are firing in here. So again, we're keeping an eye out on social media here on the show. Look at this DNY for life for boy Devin, baby.
Wow.
Sending in a $20 super chat. That's what you love to see, Woody. You love to see it.
Who want to fly with them?
An important question is who is left to fly with the Jets, but we'll explore that on the next episode of Boy Green Meets Woody. DNY for life. Lots of emotions. I hope AG and GM have a plan. Happy birthday, PE3. Yes, my son turned 1 today, wearing his Sauce Gardner jersey. Number 1. Thanks, Polly. Anywho, best thing about today, that's for sure. So shout out to my son. They better be fucking right on these trades. I'm not buying a new jersey for a minute. Yeah, I say that, but I'm probably immediately going to go back to, I went to jersey rehab. I'm like, I'm good. Hey, hold it back. So I'm not going to lie. That could immediately happen when the Jets start, draft their next quarterback, and I put that in the long list of things. But
definitely, whoever is the starter quarterback, that's not.
But he does speak to it though. Devin here, our guy. There's lots of emotions today, and I think the optimistic fans are the ones that just don't want to be miserable. They're just hoping that Aaron Glenn and Darren Mucci can get it right here. And again, if we look at some early returns, their trades have been pretty good so far, though they haven't made trades of this magnitude, so it's hard to judge from that. Their draft has been halfway decent. Armand Membu's been really good. Mason Taylor's been good. We're about to check on Azaria Thomas. We're about to find out how good he is because welcome to the starting lineup, buddy. You're going out there, so we'll see how he operates. Hopefully, if he looks really good, then the trades some of the stuff is going to look even better. If Azaria Thomas is half the player they think he is, Malachi Moore's been really good. Francisco Mauigoa is getting some playing time, so that's good. So let's see. But I think that's it. We're just hoping that they clearly have a plan, but hoping the plan is right.
Yeah, I mean that's a story of a Jets fan. Just hope, hope. Oh, hopefully Justin Fields. Oh, he was 4-2.
All right, get me straight here. So, okay, I asked you what you want to happen with the trade deadline. Do you want this? How do you want? What do you think is going to happen, regardless of your opinion? We've got 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Is Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson, your boy Alan Lazard, perhaps? Is anybody about to get traded? Is there any more Jets trades about to happen in the next 30 minutes?
I feel like yes, based on what I'm seeing, but it also seems like they are big fish hunting. Like I feel like they wanted first. They wanted to really reset the clock. Something might have just come in.
Oh, we got something?
Wait, what? Oh, no, sorry. No, I'm sorry. You see, that's the thing. People, now, like, when that happens, like, people now hit you with
You almost had me, man.
with the April Fools, type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, wait, this person, but, I think, they're big fish hunting. Like, they are trying to really reset the clock. They're trying to acquire firsts. They're trying to acquire seconds. So if, the Niners are willing to get rid of a second, then damn, that would hurt me to, say these words in a row like this, but Jermaine would probably be gone. I mean, so to answer your question very shortly, yes, I think there's probably one more move that they got up their sleeve.
By the way, Matt Miller, he's an ESPN NFL draft analyst, just posted this. He said that the 2027 NFL draft, so not this draft coming up, it's a year after, where the Jets have 3 first-round picks, has a chance to be one of the best draft classes of all time. They said the Jets have 3 first-round picks in it, and he's like praising the Jets for this forward thinking of having the ammo and being ready to go. Because obviously, I would assume that if they really wanted to, they could have bent the Cowboys over the barrel and forced that first to be this year. So obviously they're playing some games here of it being in 2027. That's a lot of, forward thinking. I don't know if that's going to be positive forward thinking. That's a lot of forward thinking there. Would or that just coming in from Matt Miller.
Yeah, I mean that's again, the coulda, woulda, shoulda, but that's I feel like that's all we have, right? When the team is terrible, everything's terrible. So I don't want to just, beat everybody down and just be like, oh, we should be pissed. Because it is a nice haul. That's what I'm saying. It is a nice haul. Again, you are setting up 2027 to be a 2022. If it is that deep, then yeah, but we gotta make sure we hit on these picks. And that's another thing is that, let me ask you. You've been asking me a lot of questions.
Yeah, I've been interrogating you. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, let me ask you. Does this guarantee that Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn will be making the picks in 2027?
1,000%.
There you go. So now that's 2 years. So that's what they did. They just added 2 years.
Well, I don't think. Look at their contracts initially. They were, whether Jet fans like this or not, outside of 0-17, I guess, it was oh, okay. Ooh, pump fake. I got an alert message. I'm like, what? Oh, nope. Okay. Which I guess we got to be on the lookout for the next 26 minutes. Although there was a couple years ago, Woody, here's a random aside, because remember when we did the Jets Panthers show, we had that Panthers guy on where I was going to say I was randomly yelling Panthers players that came to mind. And you mentioned Calvin Benjamin of the Panthers receiver. A few years ago, well, it must be a lot of years ago now, because he was on that Florida State Jameis Winston team in 2015. But when he got traded, the trade deadline passed. So the trade deadline was at 4:00, and we're like, whatever the trade. I don't remember what other trades happened, but the trades are over. It's 4:00, and at 4:30, dun-dun-dun. This was faxed in, but it wasn't reported publicly. Kelvin Benjamin was just moved, and we had a late. So now I say there's 30 minutes or whatever. Maybe we get one of those, and then there's even more craziness. So you never know for sure. So maybe that can slip on in there. But I think they were always going to make they just got a lot of these new picks to try to answer your question. I think they were always going to be making these picks with the length of the contracts they gave them and how Woody's been talking about their investment. But now with how they just did this, 100% Woody Johnson is going to let them see this vision through. And we just have to hope as Jet fans that this ritual bloodletting that obviously is taking place, we're 1-7 already, and who knows what's going to happen next year. Like, a lot of losing's coming, and we've seen a lot of losing. And boy, how much losing are we going to have to see to get the potential of the stuff working out where we could turn it around? So that's the part that, I'm feeling queasy right now about it. That's the part that makes you feel a little sick.
That's my whole point, is that what we did was guarantee losing just for the hope that maybe possibly, we can hit on these picks. And that's what my guy Jay Cons, who I feel like, super positive about this. It's like, if they can't hit on 5, maybe 6 first-round picks, they ain't it anyway. No, that's my point. We haven't seen a lot to say that they're it. So if we now trusting them with this big test, it could all just be for naught. And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm tired of being the punchline. That's something that I've been consistently saying for years now.
Yeah.
And I know I feel like a lot of you are much more comfortable with it than I am. It's like, oh, okay. Yes, we've been the punchline, but okay, 1 more year, 2 more years, 3 more years of being the punchline. And then maybe, we can make a playoffs. And it's like, what the, like, no, like, I'm trying to be in the playoffs every year. Like, that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And, we'll have to see. This is obviously a long game, a long term. This is something where, if, we have Vrabel at the helm, let's go. All right. We got, some proven guy, okay, let's go. Let's get it. Let's rebuild this thing. But based on what I've seen, this guy willingly chose Justin Fields right now. Let's talk about it in the chat. Tell me, is Justin Fields your franchise guy? This guy willingly chose Justin Fields, and you are trusting him to draft these 5 first-round picks. And you guys are hyped. You guys are hyped that is the regime that is about to do it. When just 2 weeks ago, we were all pretty much universally convinced that he was not a good evaluator of talent. Now all of a sudden we have these picks and we're hyped that they're going to hit.
Hey, by the way, this just coming in a little bit ago from Rich Zamini. Apparently Sauce Gardner, so he learned the news. AG called him, so thank God, like, they didn't do some, weird, like, he found out on Twitter. They let him know, but he was, like, stunned, and that there was no, like, inkling, like, oh, boy, hey, we might move you or something like that, and maybe on a trade like this, you can't do that sort of stuff. But, so Sauce Gardner apparently was blindsided, basically, by the trade. But, he's ready to be a Colt and all that stuff. But that's just coming in from Ritz. I mean, he had no idea a trade was coming. But AG did call him and let him know that he was going to be traded. So, at least respect for that, for the process. Now, we haven't talked a lot about this, Woody, but I just want to, see if you have anything to share on it. What about the guys the Jets picked up? So John Mechie, whatever. We'll worry about him at a different point. Maybe we'll see his debut this week. I don't know if you have John Mechie 3. I don't know if you have anything to say about Mozzie Smith or Adonai Mitchell, who probably is the more prominent guy, even though I know Mozzie Smith was a first-round pick. He's been wildly disappointing. Adonai Mitchell's been disappointing for a lot of other reasons. But what do you make of those? Because, like, in some world, people could view those players as throw-ins, like the picks were the picks. These players were just sort of what they threw in, but they are controllable players. John Mechie III, he's going to be a restricted free agent after this year. Mozzie Smith, I'll have to double check, but he was a recent first-round pick, so he's going to have multiple years. And then Adonai Mitchell has 2.5 years of more team control on there. What do you think of the young players they picked up? We haven't really talked about that yet.
That's true. That's true. I like that they did that. Like you said, they could end up like my guy Bradley McDougal, who was just thrown right. No, but I was hyped like
A
in real time.
Bradley McDougal reference. Wow, that caught me slipping.
No,
That's a good one.
no, because everyone keeps talking about Prez, that because that
Sure.
was a big trade that set up the 2022 draft class, and in real time I was like, damn, 2 firsts and a starting caliber safety to replace the safety, like that sounds amazing. And I think that this is a similar thing where now they have the opportunity to try to turn these guys into something more than what they are, which obviously didn't happen with McDougal. That's why, I guess he's just considered a throw-in. But specifically AD Mitchell, I mean, this is a guy who definitely was buried on the depth chart. I mean, they just have a lot of mid receivers. Pittman is good. I like Pittman a lot.
Yeah, Pittman's good. Yeah.
And then you got Pierce, you got Downs, you got a whole bunch of guys. But AD, as a matter of fact, I was looking. I even turned back the clock. This was a guy who was ranked a higher prospect than Troy Franklin, Ricky Pearsall, Keon Coleman. Those are all names that you've heard before, but just didn't have the opportunity that those guys had. A speedy guy. A taller receiver, 6'2". I think this is somebody who can stretch the field. Somebody who, is only 23, and to your point, is under contract for a long time. Even though that don't even matter, because Sauce was under contract for a long time. But AD, I think this is somebody who, if Tanner Engstrand is the OC of the future, which I hope that he is, then this is AD Mitchell might actually end up being, something much more than, just a throw-in. And that can help the Sauce trade, age well. Because again, you can't teach speed. He has it, 4.34 speed. You can't teach size. He has it. Okay. And his route tree, they were touting his route tree coming into the NFL. Again, just a crowded receiving room. There weren't a lot of targets to go around until this year that Daniel Jones was at the helm. But last year with Anthony Richardson, I mean, they completed 13 passes a game. So you're not going to see a lot in that scenario. So the Jets, who probably complete about 14 passes a game, you might see something there where, that role that Tyler Johnson is doing right now, maybe they can get AD doing that role. I definitely do not think at all that our wide receiver room is solved. I would definitely add, a quality wide receiver, whether it's a veteran or, one of these many draft picks, maybe the second rounder. Well, I can't even draft a second rounder after all the other ones. But, one of these top picks, I definitely would get another receiver in there. But AD, like he could be, part of a trio. Garrett, Blank, AD. That is a possible realistic scenario.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I like the dart throws. I'm not going to fake it with you guys. Go, oh yeah, receiver room solved. Adonai Mitchell, John Mechie the third, this, that, or the. I'm not going to say that. But for what the season is, playoff aspirations are really over, and you see where this everything is lining up for the team. Let's see what they have. Adonai Mitchell, learn the offense as quickly as you can, and you got like a 9-game, 8-game run to try to see if you're anything worth building around, whether you're a competent piece, depth piece, where do you sort of stand in the mix? So that part of it I find interesting. I just want to say this real quick. As we're waiting for news, and, I know I've gotten into trouble with this in the past, but I just have to say it. Michael Nania, the Jets X Factor guy, I just tweeted at him about it, when Cody Rhodes, because we're both wrestling guys, Wudi, when The Rock is asking for Cody Rhodes' soul, he's like, I want your soul, Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes, and there's all this drama. John Cena's out there, and Cody Rhodes turns to The Rock and says, hey, Rock, go fuck yourself. And the crowd goes, woo! woo. So I just said that to Michael Nania because I hate that he does this. I know there's 2,300 people in the room, and I just got to get this on my chest. He plays around with people on trade deadline day, and I think that's the stupidest, most annoying thing of all time. He just quote tweeted a Jake Glazer report from 2014. The Jets just traded for Percy Harvin. He's like, what? Percy Harvin's 37. That's unbelievable. Like, what an idiot. That's not funny. Stop it. It's just stupid. So, hey, people can tweet whatever they want. They've got the God-given right. But can we get less of that stupid shit, please? It's super annoying, dumb as all hell. And it's going to start the whole Nania versus Boy Green bullshit again. But I just have to say it because it just came across my timeline as we're all desperately searching for the next 15 minutes. Oh, geez, is Breece Hall going to still be here? Is Jermaine still going to be here? What about Quincy? And oh, yeah, here's a stupid Percy Harvin tweet. So get lost, pal. Jesus. Even if you're not following the person, enough Jets people around to follow him. So it comes up like, come on, man. Just dumb.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I got the text that was like a fake thing. So definitely, don't like that, especially when emotions are high. Emotions are high, man.
Yeah.
Just like Devin said, a lot of emotions right now. Some good, some bad. Based on the comment section, they all good. Y'all won the lotto today. You know what I'm saying? You just got to cash in the lotto in 2 years. We'll see how much it's worth. We don't know how much it's actually going to be. But yeah, let's. 14 minutes. Well, now it's not even 14 minutes based on what you just said with the Kelvin Benjamin, but
sure.
Tonight is gonna be a rough night. I don't know if you ever seen the clip of Stewie. He turned on the lights and then he turned around and he's just sniffling in bed. Yeah. Like that's gonna be me tonight. Hopefully, let
me throw this at you. Okay.
Yeah.
Something just came in. So again, I have to always provide context on what that means. So Lance Zierlein works for NFL.com. Love Lance. He writes all the NFL draft combine profiles for all the players that I read all the time. I love Lance. He just said this, with the Jets accumulating like all of these first-round picks, right? So you got 2 this upcoming year, 3 the following year. So you got 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years. He says, sure, they could just use that to go get the young quarterback that they want, like in the draft. But he says this, quote, an interesting storyline for the Jets NFL. After accumulating all these picks, they have the ammo to go trade for another team's quarterback if there is a team who is gun-shy to hand out a massive second contract to a quarterback coming off a rookie deal. Now, I'd have to evaluate which quarterbacks are in that group and whether or not I would want the quarterback that they don't want and be willing to give up the first-round picks to do it. So, again, this off the dome, I don't have a list of who those players would be off the top of my head. And so I can't even speculate. Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. I guess that must be if there's other names like that. Like I said, I'm not thinking straight, but whoever those are. So he brought that up, and that's worth a conversation of, interesting, that I don't know. But he just put that out there in the universe as another interesting possibility.
Yeah, I did see, or I've been seeing for the last couple of weeks, and I think it was even in the offseason, the name Kyler Murray, which actually doesn't apply to what you just said, but I've seen Kyler Murray a lot. I don't know if CJ Stroud got extended.
He has not yet, so that would be a name. Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something. I mean, I definitely wouldn't. I don't know about that.
Let me just say this straight up. Kyler, fuck no. And I've gotten a few Instagram DMs like, ooh, look at Kyler in the Jets jersey. And I go, whoa, no thanks. I'm not going to make fun of him because he's short, because I'm short too. But when the Call of Duty updates come out and Kyler's looking a little absentee in practice and you look at the statistics, you look at the eye test. I don't know, man. Kyler doesn't seem like the kind of guy I want to push all my chips in the middle of the table for, invest all my assets, say, that's our guy. Outlier physically. I just haven't seen the winning. I haven't seen, the thing that comes before winning. It's sort of intangible. It's impossible to put your finger on, but you just either know it or you don't. And that's sort of also where I'm at on the Kyler stuff. I have no interest.
Personally, with me, now I'm definitely open to Kyler. I wouldn't give him 5 firsts, but like 1
Do you
first
think he can win?
for
Do you
Kyler.
think he can win us a championship? I guess that's where I'm at.
Yes, yeah,
Because
I
I
do.
want quarterbacks that can, and I don't
Yeah,
know if he.
yeah,
Okay, there
no,
you go.
I do. I think Kyler. I think Kyler is what you guys thought you were getting in Justin Fields. Actually, like this is an accurate thrower of the football who is extremely mobile. He has durability issues, which I guess Fields also has. But like he is actually a good quarterback. Like he can throw. He has a great arm. He has great arm talent. He's just not consistent. That's one of his biggest issues, which I guess you could also say is Fields, but I don't even think Fields on his best day can do what Kyler can do. So I think that's what you guys thought you were getting. So yeah, I would, but again, I'm not, I wouldn't move heaven and earth. And I'm trying to, since you brought it up, I've been trying to think because I wouldn't move heaven and earth for Stroud either. I have no idea what's going on with CJ Stroud.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's a very interesting concept. Like Drew Brees.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Obviously, there's been quite a few. I mean, we just tried to do it with Rodgers. Didn't quite work out. But yeah, I would really have to like look at the NFL and kind of see who. Because I think that if you can give up like 2 firsts, like the Lions, which is we love comparing AG to Dan Campbell because AG was with the Lions, they got Jared Goff and kind of skipped all that. They skipped all the let's develop this rookie guy, and Jared Goff is still there. So it's definitely very interesting. That type of concept. And I'm sure there's a guy out there that is like Jared Goff that but I wouldn't want to give up more than 2 firsts because obviously you just gave away, a top 3, top 5 corner in the NFL. You gave away a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL. Like we now have holes to fill, and Mozzie Smith is not filling nothing.
Yeah, maybe with weight, but I don't know about anything else. I'm looking. Sorry, man. I don't know why. I'm so sorry that I made that joke for that poor guy out there. I'm fat too. I'm just looking through the NFL standings because, I know the quarterbacks to memory to see who is the quarterback we're not talking about that fits that Lance Zierlein thing that he was talking about. That someone would be heebie-jeebie to pay. Again, you mentioned CJ Stroud, so he'd be him. Broncos aren't doing that with Bo Nix. Chargers already paid him. Mahomes is paid. Obviously, he ain't coming. Jalen Hurts is taken care of. Dak's taken care of. Jay Daniels, I guess, an option, but I don't know why they would move on from him, so that doesn't make any sense. Giants have Jackson Dart. That doesn't make any sense. Jordan Love got paid. Goff got paid. Caleb Williams is the one there. Minnesota, you have no idea with J.J. McCarthy. It's way too early. Bryce Young, but I've got no interest. No, thank you. Michael Penix, but we don't know. It's too early. And then that's it. There's no one else on that list that we'd be talking about. So, but like I said, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this obviously would never happen, but if we stole like Justin Herbert, oh my God, I would be ecstatic. But he's a little bit too high up the totem pole.
And he got paid already, but yeah. You never know. Hey, I mean, obviously it doesn't stop you. The Jets just paid Sauce Gardner 3 months ago. So
yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. I was gunning for Deshaun when that was like a thing.
I was too. Hey, and all cards on the table. I absolutely was. And there's obvious things after the fact and before the fact even that we knew. But I think this, the things that are alleged are awful. We obviously can't say that enough.
Yeah.
But, if you can play, and this sounds sick to say, but it's the truth, so we might as well be honest. If you could throw a football, yeah, you did that stuff, but you could throw a football. That's how teams are. The more talented you are, the more leash you have on all kinds of things, personally, professionally, and all those kind of things. So yeah, I was all in on Deshaun Watson a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I've made this pretty clear. I'm trying to win football games, so yeah, he at that time was, in my opinion, top 5. Like he was him, and I literally still can't believe the level of drop off that we saw. Because I'm sure Cleveland thought like, okay, yeah, we gave up a lot, but at least now we're finally secure. But yeah, they were not. I know they just paid him, but like, would Tampa, want to reset the clock?
On old Baker. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I would take Baker. But anyway.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Okay.
As we're waiting here, so NFL insider James Palmer, who formerly of the NFL Network, has been a lot of places. He was on the Bleach Report stream. He does some work with Bleach Report. He was on with our boy Richie. Shout out to Richie, Jets Media, all that jazz. And Richie just said, kind of a generic Jets question. Hey, man, this guy could be moved. This guy could be moved. This guy could be moved. What are you hearing? On Quinnen? At this point, this was hours ago, obviously. This before Quinnen was moved. He said, I heard this morning there was some buzz about Quinnen being traded. It has since died down. But Quinnen wouldn't have been moved for draft picks. He would have been moved in a player-for-player swap. But it all fell apart. And then he went on with his day. Who could have been that player? Like, I assume it was Cowboys because that's who they were talking to, but maybe not. Maybe it's a different team entirely. Once they hear Quinnen's available and they were sort of shopping around, what player out in the universe could have been a 1-for-1? How those are unique for a lot of reasons, contractually, the skill-wise. Not all players are created equal. Who do you think, if you had to guess, was the player that James Palmer heard was going to go 1-for-1 with Q?
That's a great question. Yeah.
I have one guess. If you want to have a chance to think about it.
Okay, all right.
Brian Thomas Jr. of Jacksonville. They get the superstar wide receiver who a new coaching staff coming in, and there's all kinds of weirdness happening there. When I thought 1-for-1, who could? And I just thought for a second when I heard that, and I shout out to Richie and James Bond for the cool nugget earlier. I went like, who in God's green earth could that be? And it just went, Brian Thomas Jr.? Would it be BTJ? Pair up with Garrett Wilson? You got these two crazy receivers? Like, I'm like, maybe. So that's what I thought. But again, I sort of asked this out to the universe. Who else could have thought? Again, we have 2,500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Again, I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. That's my partner in crime, the James Wudi, baby, my co-host extraordinaire. And guys, make sure you like the video and hit subscribe. Again, youtube.com/boygreen25. That's where I do daily Jets content. And also at Take Flight Talk for my guy, James Wudi. 2,500 people. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, baby. We're at around 8,100 and change at the start of this show. So make sure you guys light up the subscriptions as we continue to give you awesome Jets content, whether the Jets blow up the team or whatever they do. We're always here for it. So I'll throw it back to you, Wudi, as we're 3 minutes away from the trade deadline passing. But as we heard with my story earlier, you never know what can happen there. But throw it over to you there, Woodster. Who else could the player have been? Feel free to comment on BTJ if you have any thoughts on that, but who else could it have been?
Well, real quick, at Take Flight Talk with YouTube. Come on, man. All right, young kids. Diapers ain't cheap. All right. Help the James Wudi Diaper Fund by subscribing to my YouTube channel. I did get one subscriber, actually, since I last checked 2 hours ago. Okay. So, so one of you, thank you. I appreciate you. All right. But there's 2,500 people in the room. So come on now, YouTube. You could have seen my raw reaction. I was a little bit more animated. I've been beaten down by this news. So you could have seen my initial sauce before I even knew that my guy was going to get traded. And then, now you're seeing my content now, but we got other stuff on the channel as well. So I just wanted to let y'all know at Take Flight Talk. For BTJ, I'm not sure what his issues are this year with Jacksonville. But obviously that would have been I'm not gonna lie, that would have been pretty exciting. I obviously still would have been depressed because Quinnen is my favorite Jet, and I just bought this jersey last month. But bro, yeah, I mean, because that's I feel like we kind of. keep salivating about the idea of having, these duos. We had Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. That was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And just last year, we were one of only 5 teams to have 2 wide receivers get 1,000 yards. And Garrett and Devontae. I would love to. Come on, we've had the defensive identity the whole time, and offense, hopefully can catch up. Whenever the offense is decent, okay, that's when we make the playoffs. But can we have an explosive team? And that would go a long way. So that's a really good pick. I don't know if I have a pick like that. I was thinking Cowboys, so I was gonna say DeRon Land or someone like that. Especially knowing now that Sauce is somewhere gone, somewhere else. But I don't know. All I do know is that it's going to be rough watching the second half of the season. That's why I know.
Yeah, there could be. I did see that CBW deadline deal. The Saints are trading offensive lineman Trevor Penning, former first rounder, to the Chargers. There are other Chargers tackles exploded, unfortunately, and all over the place with season-ending injuries. As we're waiting to see, as I keep hitting refresh, because again, I told you that Kelvin Benjamin story a couple of years ago, and we'll get into that. People asking how's Pop feeling about the trade. He's currently in Romania. We have a Jets show lined up with Pop on Saturday, and we will get the Cowboys side of it for sure, obviously, on that Quinnen deal, and we'll also talk Jets here too. What about the Jets do this, Woody? Let's get funky. They trade for Joe Burrow after the season.
What do you mean? Trade what for Joe Burrow?
I don't know. Name your price, Bengals fans or Bengals people.
No, see what get out of here. Where's Joe Burrow right now?
In the hospital, probably. I mean, maybe not.
Oh, no. What do you? That's not.
I don't know. I don't got an ankle tracker on him. I got no.
Well, my point is he ain't playing. All right, the durability situation, not great. With my guy Joe. But you think about our offensive line versus theirs, maybe they all need a price. There's prices that there would be a great deal. There's prices that they're not. Quick shout out to my guy Bob Bianchi on Take Flight Talk. Any word on Breece? Looks like I don't know. He might be the only active Jet jersey in my closet, because after getting rid of Sauce and Quinnen, I'm just down to Breece. He's the only active Jet jersey that I currently own. So it looks like he lives to fight another day. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it does. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it and see if there's any other deals. So, Woody, I guess with the 2,500 people in the room, we'll wrap up here. Crazy show. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Boy Green Meets Woody. Again, if you guys want to check out our content all the time, it's youtube.com/@boygreen25, BOY Green the color 25. And you guys can support my show and also do the same thing for James Woody at Take Flight Talk. Go ahead, Woody. One final plug before we sign off.
Yes, absolutely. Since my speech, no new subscribers. So y'all slacking. All right, youtube.com, Take Flight Talk. I need money for diapers, please. And catch my raw reactions, catch this incredible show with this immensely talented reporter. And then we got other shows going on as well. So that's Take Flight Talk on youtube.com. Shout out to @the James Wudi Instagram. Y'all still rocking on the Instagram and TikTok too. I'm on there. Take Flight Talk. Always reacting, always talking, and looks like Breece made the cut, baby.
It appears that way. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted if any other deals come through the deadline here. We'll have other content at Take Flight Talk and @BoyGreen25. Thanks, everybody.